I did make some mistakes, but
Since we're probably filming this.
did you just get that severe question?
You're kidding.
Oh yeah, that's kind of what I did. Thank God.
Oh, Neil. I need someone back here keeping score.
Yeah, because I was like, fish.
Give it to Sarah.
Yeah. When we're trying to stop. I made it very right. Star motif. It used to be like galaxy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let's check and make sure the buzzers haven't given out on us since the last match. It'll be very surprising. Regina? Alex? Sean? Robert? Megan? Brian? Tabitha? Holly? I mispronounced anybody's name? No. Okay. Please be against Cooperstown A. Are you ready? We start with nothing but 5-point toss-ups in our first round. Energy drink. There we go. An extremely biodiverse country with habitats ranging from arid Pacific plains to the Andes to the Amazon basin, it was the first Spanish conquest in South America. Named this one-time...
Brazil?
Sorry, no. Named this one-time home of the Inca Empire, whose capital is Lima.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I forgot, I'm sorry.
Schenevus? We'll call time, the answer is Peru. Emissions from the radio variety of these are due to synchrotron emission from their cores, which may be the result of their active nuclei. The Hubble tuning fork classifies them as lenticular, elliptical, or spiral. Name these systems of astronomical objects, one of which is the Milky Way.
Galaxies.
Galaxies is correct, Robert. And once again, all right. The subject of all of her novels is the American family and its interactions. Born in Minnesota, she moved to Baltimore, Maryland at the age of 24, where she sets her best-known works. Who is this Pulitzer Prize-winning author of Dinner at the Homesick Restaurant, The Accidental Tourist, and Breathing Lessons? We'll call time. The answer is Ann Tyler. If you invest $1,000, this is a math toss-up. If you invest $1,000 at 10% annual simple interest for 3 years, how much money will you have at the end of the 3 years? You have 10 seconds.
$1,320.
I'm sorry, no. Can you take it, Schenevus? Okay.
$1,300?
No, you'll have, I'm sorry?
$1,300?
Yes. Yeah, you need to speak up because I have old years. 1,300 is correct. Because it's simple interest, not compound. When he was first approached by Democrats wanting him to run for president, he reportedly said he had no ambition for any political office, from dog catcher to grand high supreme king of the universe. In 1952, what former military commander nicknamed Pike became
Eisenhower?
Dwight Eisenhower is correct. Unipolar kinesis, bipolar kinesin, and dianins push microtubules apart during this phase, which occurs after the creation of the spindle. During this shortest stage of mitosis, Sister chromatids disjoin and migrate to opposite ends of the cell. What is this mitotic stage that follows metaphase?
Anaphase.
Anaphase is correct, Brian, for 5 points. And what's this one? In Italian, it's spelled C-H-E, but pronounced the same as the Spanish word meaning the same thing and spelled Q-U-E.
K.
K is what we're looking for. What's the pronunciation? Well done, Scott. There's Sean. In early January, 47 men convicted of terrorism were executed in this country, sparking mass protests in the Middle East, including attacks on the country's embassies in Tehran and Mashhad, which led to what sometime U.S. ally breaking ties with Iran. Yes, Sean.
What, Israel?
Not Syria. Can you take it? Schenevus.
I didn't say Syria. I said Israel.
No, not Israel.
Okay.
Sorry. Speak up. So now you know it wasn't Syria and it wasn't Israel. We're going to call it
Russia?
Saudi Arabia. That brings us to the end of the first round. The score I have is 15 to 10 in favor of Cooperstown. Okay? Second round is the answer auction. You're just behind Schenevus, so you get the first bid in the answer auction. Here is the answer auction question, unless we have substitutes. Substituting?
No, we're gonna do each one.
Okay. Here's the answer auction question. Of the 16 cabinet-level departments of the U.S. government, 7 have been created since 1950. How many of those 7 can you name? Use some time to think about your opening bid. Schenevus, you have the ball is in your court.
One.
They bid 1.
2.
They're going to go 2. You're gonna let them have it? Okay. Give me 2, please. Robert?
Department of, I get the second one.
Say Homeland.
Homeland
Homeland Security.
Security.
Homeland Security is, yeah, that's the one we need to get because that was the most recent, 2001.
And the Department of Agriculture.
Sorry, no. So for 20 points, Schenevus, give us one other than Homeland Security that's been created since 1950. Captain?
FEMA? FEMA?
Not FEMA. FEMA's not a cabinet level. Cooperstown for 15 points.
The Secretary of Commerce.
Nope. Here they are. Health and Human Services, which was created as Health, Education, and Welfare in 1953. Housing and Urban Development, 1965. Transportation, 66. Energy, 1977. My least favorite, Education in 1979. And Veterans Affairs in 1989. So no points for anybody ever on this question.
We got 1 right.
That was good. If you'd only bid 1, you would have been in great shape. Okay, no points, so the score remains at 15 to 10. We need any substitutions because we're going into toss-ups and bonuses. We're good? Okay. First bonus is in the category non-fiction. Here's the toss-up for 10 points. The only known radioactive element in this family is the leading cause of lung cancer in non-smokers.
Radon.
Sorry. Elements of this family typically have low reactivity due to a complete outer shell of valence electrons. What is this category of elements that always have the highest ionization energies in their respective periods? This is for you, Schenevus, as an individual.
Noble gases?
Noble gases is correct. And the question was the only known radioactive in this family.
Yeah,
so
I know.
Excuse me, they were calling the consultation on them.
What?
They were going to
Consultation.
protest the consultation.
I didn't see it.
There was,
We heard.
we thought we had some talking,
Okay.
but if you didn't see.
I'm sorry, I didn't see it, so we're gonna get credit for it. Yeah, noble guess is correct. And your bonus is in nonfiction. What bestseller of the 1960s and 70s by Dr. Lawrence Peter postulated that in any hierarchy, employees tend to rise until they reach a position in which they are incompetent? Okay, the answer is the Peter Principle. What lawyer and talk show host published Ameritopia in 2012? The answer is Mark Levin, who, 3 years after she left office in 1990, came out with a memoir entitled The Downing Street Years. That would be Margaret Thatcher. And finally, what member of Monty Python's Flying Circus became a travel writer in the late 1980s, penning his own version of Around the World in 80 Days? Michael Palin. Brazil, the category of the next bonus. Here's the toss-up. It is the most commonly studied and diagnosed psychiatric disorder in children and adolescents. What is this disease which makes it difficult to focus on schoolwork?
ADHD.
ADHD is correct. Sorry, it takes me a while to keep score. And here it is. Here's your bonus, Brazil. I want you to name either of the two South American countries that do not share a border with Brazil. Captain?
Ecuador?
Ecuador is one, Chile is the other, yes. The equator and what other named line of latitude at 23.4372 degrees south pass through Brazil?
Tropic of Capricorn?
Tropic of Capricorn is correct. Brazil ranks 5th in the world in population. Where does it rank in size worldwide? Captain?
Fourth?
5th. What city, Brazil's largest and the 10th largest in the world, is also known as Terra da Garoa, which means land of drizzle?
Rio de Janeiro?
Sao Paulo. So you picked up 2 there. Next bonus is in the category biology. Here's the toss-up for 10. One was a doctor, another a tax collector, and 2 were called evangelists. Evangelist comes from the Greek word that translates into English as this blanket term for what 4 books of the Bible reportedly written by these 4 men?
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
That's correct. And your bonus in biology. It comes in brown and white forms, and the trans forms have negative health consequences. What is this insulating, energy-storing material found in adipose tissues?
Fat.
Fat is correct, yes. Fats are made up of molecules in which 3 fatty acids are esterified to what compound?
Yeah,
Glycerol.
Glycerol is correct.
you guys.
If the fatty acids in a triglyceride contain no double bonds, the fat is said to be what?
Saturated.
Saturated is correct. And most of this class of molecules relies on a glycerol backbone. Micelles bear a striking resemblance to biological cell membranes, which are composed of a bilayer of what class of amphipathic molecules?
Phospholipids.
Phospholipids is correct. Picked up all 4. And the last bonus is in the category U.S. Civil War. Here's the toss-up. It's a mountainous state with an area greater than that of all of New England. It has the shortest international land border of any U.S. state. The port of Lewiston in what state is reached by seagoing vessels through a series of locks and dams on the Columbia and Snake Rivers?
Washington?
Not Washington, Sean. Can you take it, Schenevus? Can't consult.
Nevada.
It is Idaho. All right, still playing for that bonus in the category Civil War, U.S. Civil War. This toss-up. These organisms produce a structure that contains endosperm and is surrounded by a pericarp, divided into monocots and dicots based on the number of seed leaves they possess. What are these plants whose seeds are contained in a fruit and whose most notable feature contains stamens and pistils?
Flower?
Prompt.
A male flower.
Sorry, no. Can you take it, Schenevus? What we're looking for is angiosperms. And I'm told that prompt on flowers are flowering plants. So blame Scott. It's his question. Okay. Still playing for that U.S. Civil War bonus, this toss-up for 10. One of the main characters was named for an Apollo 11 astronaut. Among the original titles proposed for the film were Did Not, Did To, and The Cowboy and the Spaceman. What was this 1995 Pixar movie featuring the voices of
Toy Story.
Toy Story is correct. Here's your U.S. Civil War bonus. The first major battle of the Civil War, called First Manassas by the Confederates, was fought along the banks of what stream, giving it the name the Union Army called it?
Bull Run.
Bull Run is correct. Major Robert Anderson commanded Union troops on what island fortification outside Charleston, South Carolina, the site of the first shots fired?
Fort Sumter.
Fort Sumter is correct. The first commanding officer of the Army of Northern Virginia was what Louisiana-born flamboyant Creole, the first brigadier general of the Confederate forces?
Pass.
Beauregard. Here, Gustave Touton Beauregard. Come here, Beauregard. No, it's an old cartoon. General Grant was accused of being drunk and unprepared before what 1862 battle, called Pittsburgh Landing by the Confederates, but better known by what name of a local church on the Tennessee battlefield?
Shiloh.
Shiloh is correct. Sean, last minute, yeah, well done. And we are at the end of round 3 with our score, as I have it, 90-20. Okay. The categories are, for the category round, you'll have first choice, Schenevus. A in geography, with A in quotation marks, which means all the answers will begin with A. B in history, which means all the answers will begin with B. C in literature, which means all the answers will begin with C. And F in music, which means all the answers will begin with F. Not that that's the kind of grade you would ever get in music. Schenevus, you have first choice.
Geography.
You'll take the geography, okay? You have the choice of the remaining 3, B in history, C in literature, or F in music.
Yeah, history.
I guess we're going B in history.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing
No,
that.
I'm not saying, I just know that Robert's father is a music teacher, and
Yeah.
he might take F in music.
I was hoping that they would say that one, but I guess.
Yeah, okay, B in history. All right. So you go first, Schenevus, with A in geography. Are you ready? 5 seconds from the end of the reading of the question to give me an answer. And I'll count it out here. All right. What European country's capital city is Tirana?
Austria.
I'm sorry, no. What U.S. state is called the Yellowhammer State? Alabama's correct. In 1997, what city replaced Alma-Ata as the capital of Kazakhstan? We'll call time. What principality is an autonomous community in northwestern Spain governed from Oviedo? We'll call time. General Tire, B.F. Goodrich, Firestone, and Goodyear were all once headquartered in what Ohio city, appropriately nicknamed the Rubber City? Call time. What is the longest mountain range on Earth? Andes is correct. What is the capital city of Paraguay? Call time. What country shares borders with Azerbaijan, Turkey, Iran, and Georgia?
Afghanistan. Afghanistan.
I'm sorry, no. The islands of Crete and Rhodes lie on the border between the Mediterranean and what other sea? We'll call time. And what country, nicknamed the land of 365 beaches, is primarily comprised of 2 of the Lesser Antilles Islands? Okay, we'll call time. Chance to steal 80, Cooperstown, if you can get these immediately. It's got 3 seconds from the time I finish reading it. What European country's capital city is Tirana?
Andorra.
No, Albania. In 1997, what city replaced Alma-Ata as the capital of Kazakhstan? The answer is Astana. What principality is an autonomous community in northwestern Spain governed from Oviedo?
Andorra.
I thought it might be, but it isn't. It's Asturias. General Tire, B.F. Goodrich, Firestone, and Goodyear were all once headquartered in what Ohio city, appropriately nicknamed the Rubber City?
Archbold.
Akron. What's the capital city of Paraguay?
No idea.
Asunción. What country shares borders with Azerbaijan, Turkey, Iran, and Georgia? The answer is Armenia. The islands of Crete and Rhodes lie on the border between the Mediterranean and what other city?
Not the Caspian.
Aegean.
The Aegean is correct,
I
yes.
meant like the-
Okay, so you picked up that. And what country, nicknamed the land of 365 beaches, is primarily comprised of 2 of the Lesser Antilles Islands? That's Antigua and Barbuda.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right, Cooperstown, you've chosen to be in history against your captain's wishes. Let's see what, he can blame you for this, right? Okay. Be in history. Are you ready? All the answers will begin with B. What Russian word for majority was applied to the Marxist revolutionaries led by Lenin?
Bolshevik.
Bolshevik is correct. Known as the father of the nation, who became Israel's first prime minister in 1948?
Batista.
Sorry, no. What political party brought Saddam Hussein to power in Iraq?
Benghazi.
No. Who became the first woman prime minister of Pakistan in 1988?
Barbara something.
No. What Libyan city saw a terrorist attack kill the U.S. ambassador and 3 other Americans in 2012?
Benghazi.
Benghazi is correct. What 19th century German statesman was nicknamed the Iron Chancellor?
Bismarck.
Yes, we're checking short-term memory. Pedro Alvarez Cabral claimed what for Portugal in 1500? Yes, known as the People's Lawyer, who was the first Jewish Supreme Court justice? Call time. What Chinese revolt in 1900 was aimed at expelling all foreigners?
Oxford.
Yes, and finally, who was the first European to see the Pacific Ocean in 1513?
Balboa.
Balboa is correct. We picked up 60. Chance to steal 40, Schenevus. Known as the father of the nation, who became Israel's first prime minister in 1948? David Ben-Gurion. What political party brought Saddam Hussein to power in Iraq? The Ba'ath Party, B-A-A-T-H. Who became the first woman prime minister of Pakistan in 1988? Benazir Bhutto. And finally, known as the People's Lawyer, who was the first Jewish Supreme Court justice? There's a university name for him, Louis Brandeis. So,
Start with the B out. No, we did.
at 160 to 40. Okay.
Well,
Round 5, any substitutions?
sorry, can we get the score one more time?
It's 160 to 40. Everybody ready? All right. Round 5, all 15-point toss-ups, no consultation. Here we go. The Home of Sir Thomas and Lady Bertram is the title setting of this 1814 novel, and their niece Fanny Price is the protagonist. Name this the third novel by Jane Austen.
Sense and Sensibility.
Sorry, no. You take it, Schenevus? It is Mansfield Park. The speckle technique can be used to improve their efficiency. Very long baseline interferometry is one strategy for using them. The optical variants of what devices come in reflecting and refracting type?
Telescopes?
Telescopes, what we're looking for, yes. Settled by Portuguese traders in the 1550s, it was the last European colony in Asia until it was turned over to the Chinese in 1999.
Hong Kong?
Sorry, no, finish it. What is this special administrative region of China that packs over 600,000 people into an area of only 11.6 square miles, the highest population density of any region in the world?
Beijing.
No, it's Macau. Portuguese traders was the key there. It was English traders who Hong Kong. In America, it's something a short man might put into his shoes to make him appear taller. In England, it's what people call
Platform.
I'll finish it. It's what people call elevators. What's the word we're looking for?
Lifts?
Lifts is what we're looking for. Yes.
Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Platform shoes.
It lasted 2.5 years, during which time major battles were fought at sea, including some off European ports. Land battles of significance took place in the southern United States and along the Gulf Coast, and the land and water borders between the U.S. and Canada also saw fighting. What was this war during which Washington, D.C. was attacked and burned? Egan. War of 1812 is correct. This is a math toss-up. If the function given by the fraction quantity x squared plus 5x plus 6 divided by the quantity x plus 4 is to be made continuous, it must be assigned what output when x equals -4? You have 15 seconds. I'll read it again. if the function given by the fraction quantity x squared plus 5x plus 6 divided by the quantity x plus 4. Sean?
-3.
-3 is correct, Sean. Well done. Question number 25. In the early 15th century, he worked with architect Filippo Brunelleschi in Rome before moving to Florence to study under Lorenzo Ghiberti. He's best known for his monumental seated sculpture of St. John the Evangelist and for his bronze David. Name this man considered the finest sculptor of the Italian, not Michelangelo, of the Italian Renaissance. Cooperstown.
Donatello?
Donatello is correct. Donatello's was a bronze. Michelangelo's was a marble statue of David. 11/22/60. Let me write that down because Sean got that right. "11/22/63 is a novel published in 2011 about a time traveler who attempts to prevent the assassination of John F. Kennedy, which happened on that date. The novel was on the New York Times bestseller list for 16 weeks and won multiple awards for what author usually associated with horror novels.
Stephen King.
Stephen King is correct. If this disease reaches the brain, it causes the almost always fatal condition astrogliosis. A vector of genus Ixodes causes the disease by spreading gram-negative spirochetes.
What is rabies?
I'll finish it. A bullseye-shaped rash is an indicator for what bacterial disease spread by wood ticks. The name for the Lyme disease is what we're looking for, yes. Formed originally as an alliance between 3 independent city-states, it grew quickly, conquering other territory in the region. Rulers of vanquished cities were allowed to remain in place if they paid semi-annual tribute and provided soldiers to the alliance's armies. What empire ruled from Tenochtitlan did the alliance become?
Aztecs.
Aztec is correct. John? Ranked number 158 on Rolling Stone magazine's list of the 500 best songs of all time, it's generally considered the song that brought rock and roll to a mainstream audience. What was this song recorded by Bill Haley and his Comets in 1954?
Walk around the clock.
That is correct, Sean. You're in touch with your grandparents' generation. The Twin Cities are Minneapolis and St. Paul. The Triple Cities are Binghamton, Johnson City, and Endicott. The Quad Cities are 4 cities separated by the Mississippi River in which 2 states?
Iowa and Illinois.
That is correct. It was a guess. It was a good one. This chemist proved that in equilibrium, a system's number of degrees of freedom was equal to the number of components minus the number of phases plus 2. A quantity named for him equals enthalpy minus the product of temperature and entropy, and that quantity is less than 0 if a reaction is spontaneous. Who is this scientist who gave his name to a form of free energy?
Gibbs.
Gibbs is correct. He helped negotiate the Louisiana Purchase in 1803. In the War of 1812, he served both as Secretary of State and Secretary of War.
Benjamin Franklin.
I'll finish it. He was at various times during his life a delegate to the Continental Congress, a U.S. Senator, Governor of Virginia, and eventually President. Who was this man, the last of the founding fathers to become president? Let's call time. The answer is James Monroe. It's a phrase used to describe the indescribable. What is this French phrase meaning I don't know what?
Je ne sais pas.
No. I'll finish it. That is generally applied to a human attribute that can't be nailed down. Je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
No, je ne sais pas. Je ne sais quoi. And that brings us to the end of the match. Very well played match. Nice comeback, Schenevus. Final score I have is 265 to 100. Okay, well played.